Hello everyone, welcome back to Talking Reds, and it's another episode of What If. And in this What If episode, we ask, what if Arne Slot were to win a big trophy this season? What would it mean for the legacy of Jurgen Klopp and the comparisons between Arne Slot and Jurgen Klopp as well? Would it add to Jurgen Klopp's legacy in terms of it being his players, or would it make Jurgen Klopp's legacy look poor? We're going to answer that in this video. Patricio, Arne Slot has been sensational. Let's be absolutely honest. He's absolutely. He couldn't really fault him at all this season so far.
Yeah, he's done wonders. I think no one expected this as well. Like, it was more so with our whole hope was on Xabi Alonso. Then it sort of faltered to Ruben Amorim. I'm glad we didn't go there. And then to go to Slot, who no one really had a clue about, and then to do so amazing. I think we all had the intention of like, oh, we'll get top four. If he does well enough, top four is where we want to go to. But no one thought that we'd be where we are now, especially after Christmas. Going to the new year top, especially on both the Champions League and Premier League. And the fact that in one of his interviews, he said that he's not just going to settle. He wants trophies. He wants to win. I think that's a great mentality to have.
One thing I think separates Klopp and Slot for me is more the honesty. I think in the way he speaks. I think they've both got big ambitions. I think Slot reveals it a bit more, his ambitions. I think Klopp likes being underdog every now and then, but I don't think Slot looks at like that. I think he's like, we're Liverpool Football Club, one of the biggest teams in the world. We are like that. I think the styles are quite similar. In fact, Slot's obviously a little bit more balanced, a little bit more relaxed in terms of keeping the ball. Slot's more like gun ho, but I think they are still quite similar attacking styles with the press and things like that. So, like I said, I think the only difference really between the both of them is the honesty of Arne Slot, and I fucking love the honesty. By the way, I loved Jurgen Klopp in press conference. He was one of the best characters in Premier League history in terms of management, and I was so proud of this guy being manager. So he was absolutely hilarious. But I love. It's quite a breath of fresh air with Slot. The way how honest he is. If we're shit, he'll tell you we're shit, and I just like that. How about you?
I think that's very much like a sort of like people from the Netherlands have that sort of approach to things where they're very honest about things, very like direct. Yeah. And I like the direct approach. It's like he made his statement sort of call when he brought I can see his face, just his name's gone escaped me for some reason. Kwanzaa. When he brought Kwanzaa off against Ipswich, that sort of showed, look, yes, you started a lot last season for Klopp, but you need to show yourself this season. And that's making players think, oh, well, my position isn't safe. So I do need to make an effort. And look at what he's done to Gravenberch, to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones in Klopp's system, I didn't feel like excelled, but he's doing so much better now. And I think that's sort of based off how he approaches things. He's not like, oh, I'll keep my favourite players on. Back like what Klopp did, he was more of a favourite man. Milner, he'd keep Henderson on. I think we need this sort of change, and that was a really well-needed change.
I think Klopp didn't dare change things as much. I think he had his favourites, but the reason why he had his favourites is because he trusted them. And they sort of backed his trust a lot. They backed up his trust in them. Slot's like, if I change this a little bit around, it's a bit more tactical than Klopp. I think if you merge both them together, I think you get the perfect manager.
100%.
I really do.
You do need that personality in football. It can't be just robotic. And I don't think Slot is like that, but I do like the more tactical mindset of it. It does make sense. I do really enjoy it.
The last tactical manager we had really like this was Benitez. Benitez used to he didn't celebrate any goals. He just sat there. Every time he scored a goal, he just straight to his pen and paper. And he didn't seem satisfied. But and Slot's a bit similar. I think we've seen a little bit more emotion in Slot in recent games, which I like. Yeah. He's human and he cares a lot about football, cares a lot about his club already. But I love that how calm and cool and how he's just a proper tactician where he's like, if I tweak this bit, and he's done one biggest thing that Klopp probably got put down for was his substitutions, and he's holding off substitutions. He'd never really made them early enough. Again, it's because he trusted too much, and sometimes we question the ambition of the club here, and he's looking around on the bench. He's got injured players or players that are not good enough. So at times they like thinking can he make a change? There's no one on the bench, but I think Slot's not scared of making a change.
No, he's
If you see
not.
something going wrong, he'll change it.
Yeah, and he's done so by taking off sort of Trent. He wasn't too pleased about it. Salah as well. So it's more so he's thinking longevity wise. Yes, you're my best player, but we're going to limit your minutes. You're still on there for 60 plus, but we'll rest your legs now, just so you're not tired for the bigger games. And that's the where the impacts will make a difference, because we don't want sort of injured like players, sort of like what City's going through now, running players into the ground. And I think we've had that phase of that, especially with Klopp, where we were doing a lot of gegen pressing. It was very full on, and you can see that in Szoboszlai last season, where he was pressing for so much, then he'd just be walking about and stuff. Whereas I think this approach to it, so to tactics to make sure you're resting your players, is just a lot better.
I think it helps towards preventing injuries.
Yes,
but with people, when we've got people like Jota and Konate and Gomez, who are injury-prone players, I don't think it's help. It's not going to help them really prevent injuries. But at the end of the day, they're injury-prone now, and we should expect injuries. This is why we need to make sure we've got enough squad depth going forward. And when I look at the options up front with Jota, and I'm looking at him thinking, we can't rely on him now because of the injuries. Konate and Gomez quite similar at the back. But other than that, I think Slot's done well at managing elsewhere. Especially, I mean, we're starting to see a bit of tiredness now in Gravenberch. I think McAllister's going to come off. That's because of the squad depth more than anything. It's nothing to do with Slot. Slot's doing his best to keep them as fit as he can, but keep them playing at the same time.
Yeah, and I think it sort of shows when Robertson did get that red card, that we just brought Endo back and sort of like brought Gravenberch back as well. Like Gravenberch feeling like centre back and sort of Endo at the fullback. I think that just shows his mindset of like, well, we don't need to make changes at this point because I've got the players and they're versatile. I guess we just definitely need more squad depth just to be able to replace them.
I think for me, I know it's only halfway through the season and we are favourites for the title. Arsenal are winning now, but I think for me, I think Slot's shown enough to me that he can win as a title. He can win as a Champions League.
Yeah, 100%.
And I said that when we got Klopp, and I said it after a few months of watching Klopp. I used to go to a gym where I used to live before, and I said to the gym manager, who was a Man United fan at the time, I said, we'll win the league under Klopp. It must be like 3 months in of watching him. I just thought, the way we're playing, I think if we get players for him, I think we'll win the league under Klopp. And I got laughed at, and I don't think I've ever gone back to see him since then because I've got another life. But I can see the same with Slot. So there's big similarities in terms of what I see with Slot. I see with Klopp. I think we'll win the title with him. It's just, I hope it doesn't get let down. It's already getting let down by the board. And he's already not been backed in summer. The contract situation now, he's not going to get backed in January. He probably won't get back next summer. Probably get one player or something like that just to shut fans up if that does. And the way Klopp wasn't get backed, and Klopp could have won much more if he'd got a couple of players even here and there to help fill in these injury hit season or these gaps. And I hope it doesn't happen to Slot the way it happened to Klopp. What does it do if we win the Champions League or win the league or win both? Yeah. We can dream here.
Ideally,
win both. What does it say about Klopp's legacy? Do you think it diminishes it, or do you think it boosts it up a bit more? Because these are Klopp's players. We've got to remember that.
Yeah, no, I do think it boosts it on because he already has an amazing legacy. I think Slot being his successor, and then Klopp sort of obviously singing the song about him and sort of inspiring the new coach to do well. I think that'll just forever sort of, what's it called, like boost his legacy. I think all Slot's doing is refining it. He has not taken play. He's not sort of, it's not a whole lot of players brought in. He's just improving them and seeing where they might benefit. Like Gravenberch didn't sort of benefit Klopp's sort of team, but he is benefiting Slot's team. So it's just refinement, to put it. So yeah, I think it will definitely boost his legacy for sure.
He just tweaked a few things, hasn't he? Really, he's just tweaked a few things, and he's playing his style away. He's got players there, and he's probably not got. He's not got his team yet, and he probably will want to bring players like Zubimendi in, for example. I think he'll want to bring a left back in to suit his style more. But he's that good of a manager and that good of a tactician. He can work with. It's not like he's working with bums. It's not like where Klopp came in and had bums to work with.
Yeah.
It's come in and got a team which has, some of it has won the title, some of it has won Champions League. So he's got winners there, and mixed with talented players like McAllister that came in and Gravenberch that came in, Soboslai, very talented players. He's got a good core to work with there. It does need a few additions. We've said that already. We've already said like it needs a DM, a left back, and maybe a centre back, and maybe a striker going forward.
Yeah,
and if we lose these three players, then we need a little bit more. If we lose those three players, mate, Slot's got a big task on his hand. Big task on his hand.
I think as well, you got to think, what is Slot thinking right now? Because the contracts are going on. Obviously, all he's doing is focusing on coaching, but he must be thinking like, oh, what if I haven't got Salah, I haven't got Trent to put those passes in, Salah to score at the end of it, haven't got Van Dijk to be the wall, like sort of what are you going to do? Like, I know he has the other options, but then obviously Chiesa's injury prone, might not even have Harvey Elliott. Thing is with Kanate and sort of if you trust Quanta. So it really is, you got to think from Slot's point of view, is he then talking to FSG and to the other people in Liverpool to get his point across of we need something to be done. Otherwise, I can't finish the league.
What sticks out for me, Patricia, is the report that was in the summer. And when we got Slot, and one of the reports said the reason why we chose Slot is because he can work with what he's got. He can work with a low budget. And that's what worries me in terms of going forward.
There's talking low budget, and there's also then saying
FSG budget.
Yeah, I think letting those three be able to go, hypothetically, then he's got to work with less. That's lessening the squad depth. That's going to be impactful on the players when they get injured, and then we then potentially could fail to succeed, then not get the league title when we were doing so well in December. So we're not asking to have managers like Todd Bowley. We're not not managers, sorry, owners.
Owners, yeah.
We're just wanting that sort of help just to refine the team. We don't want money just thrown at them. We need players that tactically make sense. If he doesn't get that back, and I don't know, especially if the three go.
I can't even imagine. But I mean, we can celebrate Klopp's legacy. Klopp is the best manager I've ever seen at this club in my lifetime, and I've not had the pleasure of watching Paisley, not had the pleasure of watching Shankly. But I know that those that did watch those two managers say Klopp is up there with them, and so I absolutely get that. And I think Klopp's legacy will never ever be diminished, no matter what happens. The guy worked on a shoestring budget at times. He performed miracles. He won a Carabao Cup with kids, basically. He is an absolute genius. He turned Salah into world class. He turned Man into world class. He made these players what they are today, including Trent Alexander-Arnold and Van Dijk as well, who's in the contract talks as well. Slot is a different kind of manager. He's world class in his own right. There's definitely similarities between Slot and Klopp in terms of the attacking way, the passion for the fans and everything like that. But I think Slot is the perfect manager for Liverpool Football Club, just like Jurgen Klopp was, in a different way. It's mad as it sounds, they are different managers, but they're perfect for Liverpool Football Club in a different way. And we're absolutely blessed. And yes, you watch me hate on FSG on here. You watch me going for FSG. But FSG, Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, you got on this one absolutely spot on. And I'll also, I don't run agendas on here. I'll praise things that if they deserve praising for, but it doesn't mean I won't call things out on here. You'll find that out. Whoever watches this, you'll find that out about me. I'm real about what I say. If someone's done something good, I'll absolutely praise them. I don't care if FSG got it absolutely spot on with. Oh, they did pick Slot, but Edwards picked Slot, and FSG backed him with that decision. Spot on. Arne Slot was a spot on manager, just like Jurgen Klopp was.
Yeah.
And that deserves praise for them. But now, what you need to do now, guys, is it's okay getting the manager in. Give him what he needs. Because this manager, Arne Slot, has shown enough for me to win multiple titles.
Yep, 100%. Like if we can bolster where we need bolstering, just imagine what we can win. How many consecutive seasons of trophies that we can bring in. he has the ambition. He's not come in as just a fill a void until the next manager comes. He's here to hopefully to stay for quite a long time and keep winning us titles. So, yeah, I like that sort of mentality that he has. I think he's not a complainer. He doesn't complain. He's not saying, "Oh, we need signings." He's willing to go with the flow, but I think he does need to sort of speak up a little bit.
Yeah, he might get frustrated. I think if he does get, you could sort of see Klopp getting frustrated in his tenure, but he didn't really reveal that frustration directly. He said little sly little things every now and then. I'm not in charge of the money. I'm not this. I would have liked to take more risks, he said, about transfers.
Yes.
He says little digs, very sly little digs, but I'd love to see. It's going to happen at some point. If we like don't win the title this season, whatever, and we don't back Slot properly in the summer, I'd love to see Slot. I wonder if he's going to be really direct on it.
I hope so, but he might not be so public about it. It might be like a behind the doors kind of thing, and that's how I think he's the type of person that would do that, would sort it out, would not make it public, and then it's just sort of. I forgot what I was going to say, to be honest. It's just sort of got on my mind.
Yeah, I get you. I think Klopp actually wasn't happy. I mean, you saw the interview he had at the end of his tenure, Klopp. He said, like, look, I wasn't happy in these discussions with FSG. Yeah. I said, I wasn't happy, and I said I wanted a bit more. But it is what it is. He sort of like brushed it off, like, it is what it is. I'm happy with being that. But I don't think Slot. I think Slot's a bit different to that. I think he's like, if he's not happy about something, I think he'll say how it is. If he does, I hope he says it publicly. I hope he outs them. I absolutely do. I don't know if he will, but I hope he does.
The thing I'm worried about is over the years, I hope FSG don't mold him to be sort of a yes man. We need him to be sort of the way he is now.
Yeah. We need to keep that honesty, keep that integrity part of him. Thank you for watching. If you think, what do you think about this? What if Arne Slot were to win the Champions League or the Premier League this season? What does it do for Jurgen Klopp's legacy? Does it boost it or does it diminish it? For us, we think it boosts it, to be honest, because it's the same. It's Jurgen Klopp's players. I'm separating the legacies for myself anyway, because Jurgen Klopp, his legacy will never be diminished. The guy is an absolute legend, the greatest manager to ever manage his football club. Arne Slot is his own great manager, and he is already setting the standards for me. In his words and in his actions. He is a sensational manager, and I think we can win multiple titles under this guy. We certainly need to challenge every single year.
Yes.
We're not asking to win multiple titles. I think we can, but we need to challenge at least every single year. And this manager right now has shown enough for me that he can absolutely do that if he's getting backed. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, notification bells on as well, because we get Liverpool content now every single day. Have a great night, guys.